Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rosie and Corina, psych investigators.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hi, guys. So here we are. We're talking to Corina. I was talking to Corina for so long before we started recording. It was a great conversation. We
Mm-hmm.
have interesting insights.
Yes.
But but that's it. That's the introduction. And so I was talking to Corina. We communicated throughout this whole process of the news and the trash and Felonia fallout. So, so I'll let you, Corina, share because Corina had some interesting experiences related to this, right, Corina? We wanted to, if you want
Hmm.
to share
Okay.
how, okay?
Yes. I think it all started actually last Tuesday or this last Tuesday when you and I talked and we felt the sense of urgency coming
Mhm.
and neither one of us could kind of shake it. Well, Tuesday night, I had what I would tell Rosie would be a mini episode. And I've learned now to tell her about these things because I always tend to relate them to my own life and what's going on with me, but it usually ends up to be something I'm picking up
Mm.
bigger out in the universe. So I was telling her that I did after we talked. I had where I woke up around 3:30 in the morning, and I was already in an anxiety attack. Like I was already in it, and I felt like I was going to throw up. So I jumped up, ran to the bathroom, and I gagged a little bit,
Mm.
and I was just sweating. So I have a standing fan. I turned that on. I was standing in front of it, just trying to breathe, calm myself down, talk myself down as I'm used to doing.
Mm.
And I thought, okay, I'm just going to sit and breathe for a little bit. And I
Mm.
didn't throw up. I ended up just going back to bed, trying to maybe I'll fall asleep and sleep it off.
Mm.
I was in bed like 3 minutes and I jumped up going, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. So I
Mm.
got back up and I did kind of start to gag a little bit. I got the trash can, was ready. And I'm just sitting here trying to breathe through it. And all of a sudden I belched. And then I felt a shift. And about 2 minutes after that, after the belch, I felt the shift. And it actually was another shift. And all of a sudden it was gone. Everything was gone. Just it happens that fast. It just pops right out of my body. The energy
Mm.
just leaves me. So I wanted to tell Rosie about that because I knew it was probably more significant than what I was picking up, what I was thinking. So
Mm.
which it ended up being. Um, and so yeah, right. We did cover that. Okay.
Mm. Mm.
And
Mm.
then do you want me to talk about the when we found out about the Alonia thing, or do you want to?
Oh yeah, go ahead. That's interesting. That was
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was actually kind of funny because I had walked out into the living room. My
Mhm.
son and my husband were both out there,
Mm.
and all of a sudden, my son goes, "Mom!" and he had this big Cheshire grin on his face. He's like, You guys were right." And so he shows me, or he reads this text to me between Leon and Trump, and I said, "Oh my gosh, send it to me. I got to send that to Rosie." And so it was great because I sent it to Rosie, and as I sent it, she sent it to me, and it was so funny. We sent it at exactly the same time, 3:11. So we were kind of going back and forth, but oh my gosh, I think that's what I was picking up on Tuesday night
Mm.
was that whole thing. I think that's what was actually happening Tuesday
Mm.
because I could feel the sun. We both felt
Mm.
something coming, but I think that might have been what it was. And to me, it was just, I feel that shift happening, like what we've been talking about this whole time.
Mm.
It just hit me. It's like, oh my gosh, it is actually starting to show. It's happening.
Mm.
We can see it now. So to me, this was glorious, this whole thing between them. I mean, it can't get any more clownish. It can't get any more. pathetic. It's just two toddlers fighting, two egos, two egomaniacs, two narcissists. But it is
Mm,
kind of enjoyable to watch their demise in all of this, because that, to me, what it is, it's the rats eating the rats.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, and Quinn and I talked about, right, Quinn, about how we don't feel like it's coming back, like that they're
No.
gonna revert back and
Mm-mm.
go back to the position of power. No.
No, they can't come back from this. This is the thing that they cannot recover from. And I told Rosie, for me, it started with the Pope. When he passed, I felt that massive shift. And to me, it started with that. And then when I heard about the Ukraine attack, oh my gosh, to me, that was so massive because it affects the world, it affects their egos, it affects their narcissism. It is all encompassing.
Mm,
So to me, that was huge.
mm,
And then now this fighting, there, it's a dog pile. I get that dog pile. They cannot come back from this. I get that scene. If anybody's ever who didn't see the Matrix at the time, but where he fights one guy and it turns into like 30 guys he's fighting. It's a dog pile. That's what's happening right now. They can't
mm,
recover from it. They just
mm,
can't. None of them
mm.
can.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, wow. It's great. It's great, Glenna.
Mm-hmm.
And so, okay, so I have holding these crystals and I'm sending energy because it's okay. We'll share this. So Corina,
Yeah.
Corina
Yeah.
made on my birthday. She made this really nice a video with crystals she sent to me, and
Mm-hmm.
I copied her. I saw that she was using these crystals at 2 points, and so I got them, the ones at 2 points. And I
Yes.
asked her, I was like, Karina, is that, I asked her, is that, she's like, yes, it's exactly what it's for, to send out this energy. And I'm
Yep.
sending out the energy almost like to the image of the facade so that it's
Mm-hmm.
dissolved, so that
Yes.
the light surrounds it and removes the lowest. The lowest is a lie, right?
Yep.
So
Exactly.
that's the thing, just to say. So there's two things now that you said it, Karina. One thing that you have said just now about the Pope. And I forgot. So a lot of people are asking, so is it okay? We'll change it slightly. We hadn't even discussed this, even though we talked for like 2 hours up to now. Um, so the Pope has a mass for the
Yes.
14th of
For the
June.
14th. Yes.
So since you started already on this, let me just
Yes.
get this like little keyboard, second keyboard here. Just 1 second. So am I
Yeah.
making things so
That's
complicated?
huge too. That's huge
So
too.
let's see, because I feel kind of if I have to plug in a battery, but just for now, let's ask about this. You know what? Let's ask about June 14th.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Oh no,
Mm-hmm.
why did it close off the Bluetooth? Okay, so okay, June 14th. Hold on. So it will be Trump's so far what's scheduled, okay?
Right.
The Pope's mass
Mm-hmm.
and Trump's right. Okay. So since it's on the same day, but let's just start
Okay.
with the Pope. Now I need my glasses because I'm far. Oh, and then I need to go get the what kind of why don't you start, because I need to go get the just the cable here to make sure it's plugged in.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
it's right here. Found it. Um so let's see. Let me just 1 sec. Oh, do the protection. I'd like to ask for
Yes. Yes. Right.
protection. A bit of Korea right coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. Step into it. Step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I like to ask them information. Come only from the highest sources that I create the good one, the good and so it is. Okay, so tell us about June 14th. First with the Pope. What would be, and it will be in Chicago, I think, isn't it?
Right.
Chicago.
Mhm.
Post mass. Let's see here. Okay, in Chicago,
Very interesting.
his hometown. Okay, so let's see. So, tell us about this June 14th.
Mm. Oof. Those bear senses kicking in. Sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, for me,
Mhm.
I see a holy man and a devilish man. So the Pope, obviously, we know which one's which, but this is a very powerful message. And I'm going to say the way it's coming in from God, from the higher power, the higher source, put this man in this position at this time to fight against
Mhm.
this.
Mhm.
And actually, they want me to change what I just said instead of fighting, because that means that we have a battle. It's a representation more of goodness and what we should look at, what we should be, who we should be, how we should be as humans, humanity. So it is something more than just a rally, a prayer. It represents way more than that for me, much bigger. So he is standing there in that position. And it's interesting because I almost see all this stuff being thrown at him. That's metaphorical. But he has this sense of power where he just stands in his position and he is against this. So he knows he can do this. He has this power of the universe backing him, this godly power. So he is going to stand up for what is right on the day that the man wants to show evil. Oof. Good chills, good chills, good chills. So that's what I got on that.
Okay, so when you're ready, are you ready? I'll go
Go ahead.
ahead. Okay. So it's interesting. I saw this, like a lot of Renaissance paintings have this like image of the sky, an opening in the sky above, and like
Mm-hmm.
and the God comes through, like something like that. So I see this mass as this moment when the sky opens again. And it's like almost like this divine intervention in a way.
Yes.
And I feel like this Pope knows that he's also a bit psychic in a way. It's not just maybe he's also religious, but that he can handle the Antichrist times. Like he's not
Yes.
afraid of the Antichrist. No, I'm not afraid. I'm going to open up. So the way to counter the Antichrist is to speak for our value, never back down, always speak for our values.
Mm-hmm.
And to create as in heaven, so on earth type
Mm-hmm.
of scenario. And I feel that it's like even more than Pope Francis, because it
Mm-hmm.
feels it's almost as if Pope Francis opened the door and he's like now going to build.
Yes.
It's like, no, I'm here to connect the Catholic faith to what God's message really was. And interesting, wow, there goosebumps. So his back, one of the reasons why the other cardinals selected him apparently is because he has pastoral experience. And pastoral is when you go in the community and you
Right.
talk to people
Mm-hmm.
and you connect them, and he's saying that's a form of pastoral work, this mass that he's doing.
Right.
And he has to connect, he has to be he feels that he has to be present with the people.
Mm-hmm.
and that he, as he's there, he brings the light with him in the
Mm-hmm.
land of what he calls now the darkness. He sees the US now with his values, or at least for the
Right.
time being, as darkness, and he's not afraid, and the man can't stop him. So
Right.
he goes, and I see it's very emotional event for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that was once like, okay, this sounds very Catholic thing to say, because I grew up also in a Catholic, uh, baptized Catholic, long story, but I see that people like experience miracles in that moment. So if you have something that you really want, like a prayer thing, like if you can go, wow, it's
Ooh, I
such
just
a
chills. Oof.
miraculous event. I
Whew, I
feel like
got yeah.
miracles are going to happen there in this moment. Get intense. And even that we watch it or like pray doing it, it doesn't necessarily have to be physical, but see this mass as a moment of miracles, this moment.
Mhm.
And then I see like, so that he's making this stuff happen, spoke, and he's going to be safe, he's going to be okay.
Yes,
And
he
then at the
is.
same time, an elevator because Trump is going down
Mm-hmm.
and so it's a transition of the government of evil to the
Yes.
government of the light. In a way, obviously the trope is the Pope mixed the words, but the Pope is not a politician, but there's a sense where he stands for the light. And as he's there, he also, oh, it's interesting. Okay, this is so funny. I'm holding this crystal. And I was talking to her about it, and it reminds me, it was a Superman had because it's the color of
Yeah.
kryptonite.
Kryptonite.
Kryptonite. So the Pope is kryptonite for Trump
Yes.
because he's all that Trump is not.
Right.
And he hates, and then I see, so then when I try to look for that parade happening, I see Trump, like has glitching. He has
Yeah.
already glitched and is not being revived. Like a computer when you can be like, okay, I'm gonna reboot it and it comes back.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't reboot him anymore. He's
He's drugged out.
yeah, something strung out like that. And then I see there's tanks, they may be preparing for this, but it never comes out of the gate, this parade thing. So it may be that it's planned. I've always
Yeah.
seen it not happening, but I kind of don't see it happening. If it does, I see rain. I see like a terrible weather, thunderstorms,
Right.
like something terrible. Like it's just this bad feeling, and it's just a joke.
People
Nobody
laughing at
wants to do
him.
it. Mhm,
It's
mhm.
it's just it something. If it does happen, it's something that will bring him to his knees, with especially with everything that's already been happening. Because here's another thing that I see, and I saw this the other day. There are some, aren't there some more protests coming up too? And I saw the future protests, and there was millions of signs about Taco Man. Taco, taco, taco. It's going to be so in his face that he glitches at that. If
Mhm.
he has that parade, it is going to be lined with signs that say taco something, chicken taco, whatever you want to say. He cannot handle that.
Wow.
So that alone is going to mock the crap out of him. He cannot handle being mocked or laughed at or made fun of.
Wow.
So, that's how you bring a narcissist down. He doesn't care about all the crimes he's committed. He's proud of that.
Mhm.
You bring him down on a personal level by sadly making fun of him. So when he sees all the taco signs, he can handle it. It's great. So he can't come back from none of this. None of this.
Wow, 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 wow. So interesting. So yeah, that's great, Karina. So this leads me to think, even though it's funny, I have more things to talk about that we discussed already prior to starting recording. But somehow this leads me to think of what's gonna happen in the next 10 days. And then because right, is it no, 8 days. There's 8 days left for the 14th, right?
Yeah.
So, so that's right. So, okay, what happens? I mean, we may not get anything or like because I saw him so collapsed. So what happens in the next 8 days that is so deflating to Trump?
I think it's with
Okay.
Putin and Elon.
Mm-hmm. I see, because I see him. Okay. So,
Yeah. I think that the exile thing, come on over, Elon, that scared the hell out of Trump. Why? Why is Putin protecting Elon, not me? What are they doing? What are they going to
oh,
do to
you know
me?
what I see? You know what's interesting? Remember, this is like, I can't believe this guy's president. So remember when there was a trials of Trump, right? He had to
Hmm.
go and he was sleeping during the trials. Like,
Yeah,
and but Biden is a problem.
yeah.
Anyway,
Bye, Sleepy Joe.
so it shows me that he has the same behavior. Once saying more, it tells me stuff's gonna come out about him and Epstein. More
Yeah,
stuff's gonna come out. Yes, they're gonna make it happen. And then I see that what he does as a defense is just sleep. Like, and at least it doesn't make sense, sleep in
yeah.
public so that he's not present, so that he denies the reality.
Well, exactly. And you know, it's easier to all of a sudden go insane or have
Mhm.
dementia's getting worse. It's much easier to act like that or to have it actually slam him. But you know, to me, there's a little bit of an act there too because he can't face reality. So it's he almost to me it looks like he kind of fakes his own uh, progress of illness
Mm,
so he can act like he doesn't
mm,
understand. I
mm.
don't comprehend what you're saying. I never did that. I don't remember anything. I have no memory. He's a coward. He can't take the heat.
So, Corina, is it possible? I mean, maybe things have changed, since we always see him going to the military and ask for, Russia. That's what I saw. Yeah, I've always seen it. You probably saw some, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
what is this happening now, or not, or has the timeline, whatever? What's up with that story? Is he still going to the military to ask to help Russia or not? I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think something's still going to come because I think Putin's still on his butt. Putin's not going to let him. It's either I think we're at the point now. It's either you do this and give me your military, or I'm just going to tell everybody everything. And you're either going to go down this way or that way. Pick your
So,
poison.
okay. So is he, how does he leave? Because what I see is that he's just kind of like pretending to be like asleep. So he's not really doing the job. How does he leave? Does he leave? What happens if he does that?
They can pull him out. But I don't see that happening.
Because he could be like, like a squatter in the White House, basically.
Yeah.
He still
Yeah.
has, he was, they still think. So what's gonna happen there? What's gonna happen?
I still feel like he's going to try something one last time.
Yeah, that's right. I
I think
think
he's going to try to please his boss one last time.
that's right. Yeah,
So
I
he
still
does.
think it. I still think he has to go to the military. I still see it. I
Yeah.
still see him going to the military because that would be also, it's the seal of treason. Like, it doesn't make sense. They haven't
Right.
declared a war on us, but they are
Right.
on a war technically, right?
Yeah.
So wow, interesting. Okay.
And I think it
Oof.
has to come down to that because what does Putin have? What does
Mhm.
Putin have left? You know, he doesn't
Wow.
have much
Okay.
either.
So, just to tell you guys, okay, so on the day, I think it was okay, so just to tell you, so then we're gonna talk about now, let's see here. Okay, this is like, I mean, you can't make it up. Okay, so Trump is asking, then I'll show you the article, senators to go easy and to postpone the Russia bill, because now, so the
Why? I want to know why. What purpose is that, Trump?
So here's the man. So this is why, guys, when everybody's like, oh, what is he doing that? Because he's working for Russia. That's why he's doing, and
Like,
and so there was this analysis, I think it was a Financial Times. I didn't even show anybody because there's so much going on all the time. It, he put tariffs on steel, and someone said the fastest way to destroy your manufacturing is to put these high sanctions on stuff like steel because
mhm,
it's necessary for manufacturing.
everything.
So
Yes.
there he is doing that, aluminum and steel. And there he is, like, so he loves that shit, right?
Hmm.
And yet, uh, right? So there he is. I'm gonna right here, the bipartisan, because Lindsey Graham is working on this, by the way. I think it is. So the fact that what else do you need? What does anybody need here? Come on. Right.
Right.
And I think this is I think, and I'm getting S, when all of this is said and done, it will become very clear that he falls because his connection is, I mean, everybody knows, right? He acts like it, he walks like it, he's like, whatever, everything.
That's it.
But this is the final thing. Like, look at this is before, the day before the whole fight happened. Now, some people, by the way, are saying, ask me, oh, Rosie, some people are saying it's fake, but you have to look at who is saying it. The people who are saying it are very pro-Russia, Elon
Right.
linked accounts. They're
Right.
not regular people. So because they want us to think that
Right.
there's no rift.
Right. They want to.
No, I don't believe it. I think it's 100% true. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So let's ask this. So Trump is asking Senator. Oh, let me just show you because it's unbelievable. It's like, I can't believe this is real, but it is. Here it is. Trump urges Senate to postpone vote of Russia's sanctions bill. Senator says, here it is. U.S. President Trump has asked the Senate to delay voting on a bipartisan sanctions bill, Republican Senator Roger Wicker said on June 4th. I know Trump asked the leader not to bring the bill to vote this week. Okay.
Yeah.
The bill introduced on April 1st by Senators Lindsey Graham and Richard Blumenthal seeks to impose 500% tariff on imports from countries that continue purchasing oil and Russian oil and raw materials. The aim is to tighten economic pressure on Russia to discourage third-party nations from enabling the Kremlin's energy exports. The legislation currently has broad bipartisan support, with 82 out of 100 U.S. senators.
Wow.
Mike Johnson also voiced support for the bill. Oh, look at this. Oh, yeah. President Trump said he had not yet imposed those sanctions on Russia because he believed a peace deal might be within reach. I think if I'm close to getting a deal, I don't want to screw it up by doing that, he said on May 28th.
Oh my.
He's prepared to act. He's prepared to act if Moscow stalls further. So here's the
Blah
Senate.
blah blah
The
blah blah.
the Senate was expected to begin considering the bill this week prior to requests made by Trump. So, okay, so what's going to happen to this bill? So, an interesting way. So, okay, so Trump, a Republican senator said it. So, what's going to happen to this bill? I think it passes.
Yeah. I just got the same thing.
I see. It's funny that, the images that I wasn't asking about him,
Yeah.
but who I see is JD Vance, like with this feeling this thing in his stomach.
Yeah. He can feel it coming.
And when he hears that it passed,
Their threats are hollow anymore.
and I see that he does, it's like, because I see that somehow of course, they always do that. The condition that we give you the presidency, we'll give you presidency, JD Vance,
Yeah.
if you will make a bill not happen. Then we are thinking of you as next president. Okay, you understanding? You understanding? So, so okay, so
Yeah, I had the best image. His eyeliner was running because he was crying because he's scared.
oh, wow. Oh, and Corina, actually, by the way, So yesterday, it was so intense yesterday. I feel like there's so much information, but I want to see what you think since we're talking about him, JD Vance. I saw yesterday when I saw this that he was, like, oh my God, it's my chance, it's my chance. And then the next scene is him, his hair growing out, and he's like, wow, I almost was president. It didn't happen. It was yanked out of me, like from me or something. So
Yeah.
he feels like it's so JD Vance. Let me ask like this: does Russia? Because some people are suggesting this. I never see him taking power now, but let's see. Does Russia
No, he doesn't
have
take over.
plans for uh Vance becoming president? Taking over from Trump? Does JD Vance actually ever become president if Trump leaves? Okay, so
Okay.
the first part is does Russia have plans for Vance becoming president?
I don't think it matters.
Are they able to put him in power if Trump leaves? No, because the
No,
election was fake.
exactly. He has no right or ability or argument to be
Mm-hmm.
there. You're a loser because you did lose.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you even have an inkling that you get to take that position? You were placed there wrongfully. No, no.
Because also I think it was yesterday after I posted the video, even someone on Twitter was like, finally, after 10 hours since this whole thing with Elon Musk and Trump happened, JD Vance says, oh, I fully support President Trump. And someone's like, it took you 10 hours
Yeah.
to come up with this statement?
Yeah.
Really? Like, really, it's true, right? It's like,
Yeah.
was he expecting something to happen? He was like waiting for someone to tell him what to say. It's like, I don't want to upset Peter.
Right,
What do I
right.
say?
Thinks he's
Like,
going to be. He knows why
so,
he has that position. He knows why he's vice president. He's only there because he is
mhm.
another puppet. So he's got to also be careful what he says because he's got bosses. Everybody's
Oh,
beholden to somebody.
so wow, and wow, I see this image because then I'm asking what happens to him, and I see he has to make a statement that he resigns.
Yeah,
Like he has to resign with Trump when Trump goes. And he's like,
yeah,
I'm resigning the office. He resigns. He's forced to resign. And that's what happened to Nixon too. Oh, that's it. That's what happened. Because remember Nixon, he resigned, but they said, look, if you don't resign, we're gonna
right.
go to and the same thing with him. It's like we know that you're part of this whole election thing.
Yeah,
You could choose two ways. Go
yeah,
the nice way, or you resign, or the hard way, where there's a handkerchief, not a handkerchief, but
yeah, exactly.
handcuffs.
Handcuffs. You're
So
going up.
he's like, okay, 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 because he knows.
Yeah,
And it's interesting. The wife was a very competent lawyer. She said, yes, you should do that. Don't. You're not gonna
don't
because
argue it.
he's just so slimy, right? Wow, it's big, but
Yeah,
interesting.
and then she hands him divorce papers.
That's right. That's right. Mm.
She's got those.
Wow. 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 Okay, so now there's a few. Okay, so a couple more things related to this. So then now the latest of today is that Trump, let's see here. Let me share. So Trump, there's no, even though Karina, we don't usually do that, but it's okay, right? Because we have already kind of talked about this.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. So, okay.
I'm fine.
So now here, Trump says he has no plans to speak to Musk as feud persists. And then there's this other one. So I think we may look at it at once, but let's see here. Okay. So Okay, so actually, let's just see here.
Yeah, let's talk that. That
This
that
one,
that.
okay. So this is the strangest thing. Oh, and I forgot, guys. It's so much. Okay. I sent this to Karina today. Okay, one second. This because I can't believe it's actually a real thing. So let's see, Russia, um, what was it? Asylum, Musk.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a real thing. Okay. Russia offers, this is a real news story. Russia offers political asylum to Elon Musk. Remember who the other one got this is what's his name of that guy who took the secrets?
Oh
Edward
yeah.
Snowden. Okay,
As-
so Russia offers political asylum to Elon Musk over Trump feud. And then um and then here we have the Trump says he has no plans to speak. So and here's Putin. Again, Putin ready to so not only do they offer the asylum to Elon Musk, but they also said they want to facilitate the Trump Musk peace deal. That's like, and think about it, what a joke. We're talking about a country who's invaded, like Ukraine, right?
yeah,
So, okay,
exactly.
right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, so, okay, hold on. Russia got involved.
yeah. It's absolute insanity
Mm-hmm.
for another country to say, especially Russia, we'll negotiate a peace deal in with first of all, it's two people. What are you negotiating a peace deal between two toddlers for? I mean, what the heck is that even about? But honestly, when we were talking about it earlier, it's like, oh, well, of course we know what it's about. It's
Mm-hmm.
their boss. So their boss has to make them play nice. So
Mm-hmm.
that's all it is. It's because who the heck would do that? Who would say, I'll negotiate a peace deal for two guys? I don't, that doesn't even make sense to me. So for me, it's, well, of course, it's both their bosses and he wants them to play nice.
Okay, so but it's saying, how does Russia see the situation? What's going on? How do they see the situation benefiting them in a way or not?
Gosh. I think Putin knows the deal with Trump is over. And I mean, he hasn't gotten what wanted. He can't seem to get what he wants. It doesn't seem to be going his way. He's getting frustrated. There is nothing happening with Trump. He can't seem to do anything.
Mm,
So I think that he sees the writing on the wall with
mm,
Trump at this point.
mm,
So maybe if I can get Leon's money first before Trump goes down, but he's going to bring Trump down anyway.
mm.
Putin is.
Okay, okay. Yeah, and I what I saw is that I see that Putin and the Russians in general like that it's a better clown show, the two of them together.
It's great.
And it's saying it's like it's so distracting and so awful. If it's
Yeah,
just one, it's we have to make because it's saying it's important to keep up the facade that it's legit,
right.
that it's a real alliance. They don't want the thing to come out. So is Elon Musk gonna so I have a
No,
question. Have the Russians told Elon Musk to not say anything about the election? I said, but because one of the surprises I had yesterday when I did the cards was the cards said that the Russians are very friendly with Elon Musk. They like him. They're not upset if he says the thing about the election. But
right.
does he? Does he? So is Elon Musk
Yeah, he's another one they can't control.
determined? But is he determined to share the truth? Is it was it scheduled to happen like we saw?
He's,
See, he's gonna. I see him doing it. I don't see, and then I begin what I see so strange. I see the people like we saw the comments. You're like, "Oh, you guys are right," or whatever. It's so exciting. And then I see people giving hugs, like, "Oh my God, you're right on, right on. It's
Yeah.
true. It's true."
Yeah.
They, so yeah, I
I
see that
mean,
he
I think
will.
it's all encompassing. I think as he's going down here, Putin's going to release a lot of stuff because
Hmm.
you're going to make it solid
That's right.
that
That's
he
right.
does go down. So it's all encompassing for me.
Mm,
It really is.
okay. So the next question about this, there was something else. It was, oh, about Trump's threats about, so I'm just gonna share this about this article that was just updated a few minutes ago.
Okay.
That Trump says he has no plans to speak to Musk. So at some point, here it is. Oh, here it is. Okay, I hope he does well with Tesla. However, Trump said a review of Musk's extensive contracts with the federal government was in order. We'll take a look at everything, the president said. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So the question okay, will Trump cancel Musk's contracts with the government?
Okay.
So that's it, right? Like, so,
Yeah.
well,
I do believe so. Well, you mean if he wants to do it or if he actually gets to do it, right?
does he do
So,
it? Does he
does he
cancel?
do
I mean,
it?
okay, of course,
Yeah,
we know that
that's his.
things could be appealed. There's a lot of, look, maybe it's not immediate, but will he go ahead and do it? At least signs, because he could sign see an
Yeah,
executive order.
I think that's the whole thing. That was, to me, Leon could smell that from the sidelines coming. And that was
Mm.
one of the reasons why he was freaking out because he kind of heard the chatter that this was going to happen. You know, they don't do anything without holding something over somebody's head. There's always a blackmail kind of aspect to what they do. Everything is transactional.
That's right. That's right. That's
So
right. Exactly. Exactly.
there isn't anything that isn't transactional.
Well,
So if you step out of line, guess what? You get destroyed. So I'm going to take away all your contracts. I mean, that's just coming from
okay.
a mile away.
All right. Okay. Okay. So, okay. So, very good. Very good.
That's his way of keeping Leon quiet.
Mhm.
That's why he said that. It's either you shut your mouth or guess what I'm going to do.
So, okay. So I want to share this. Okay. Here, I think, so I talked to you about this article. What happens to Trump aligned tech oligarchs? So this article from the Financial Times, I absolutely love it because it has quotes from them. They're all freaking out. So, so because I think even it's what's fascinating, Brandon, when you said about that they're freaking out.
Yeah.
It reminded me of some of these quotes because those people who have these companies, they're randomly, seems very random, right? We know it's not random. There's some sort of money involved, but they suddenly got contracts with Trump. So is he going to, like, are these companies what's going to happen after this, either after Trump falls or after this? Okay, here it is. So let's see. The fissure between the powerful pair threatens to derail the White House legislative agenda and wreck a hard-won alliance between Silicon Valley and Washington. So let's see some of the, okay. Okay, so it's like a leopard in my face. Tech figures who backed the administration, hoping it would usher in an era of tax cuts and deregulation, have been racing to contain the portal with limited success.
Mhm.
Enjoy it. Elon isn't taking calls from anyone, one Silicon Valley financier and big donor to Republican candidates told the Financial Times, not from people who have billions invested in his companies.
You're right.
The Valley's losing their shit. Attempts to get Trump to reconcile his former first buddy were set back on Friday morning by news the president planned to sell or give away the Tesla he had bought. Let's get rid of no, he didn't buy, that he
Yeah.
received as a gift in March in show of support of Musk. The White House also dismissed reports of a conciliatory phone call between the two men. Okay, let's see. These seem to be making good press together, Draper told the FT. My dad advice, don't throw the baby out with the bath water. Oh, no, this is okay. Let's see. Okay. I want to talk about David Sachs, just so you guys. So, among those considered to be at risk for crypto and artificial intelligence, David Sachs is very anti-Ukraine. He's very like a Russian puppet, just like Musk.
Yeah.
Here, Sachs, this is such a nice image. So, Sachs was shell-shocked, said one person familiar with the matter, and needed to be protected from public scrutiny until things calmed down. Okay, so Sachs has remained silent since the Musk-Trump relationship imploded. So
Yes. Why would it affect him that much?
right,
Why?
so it's
Yeah.
like, so then let's see what is going to happen to these people and what is happening to them now. What is happening to these tech people? Uh, I said for them, ah. Okay. I don't like it. My God, I don't know what happened.
We didn't know we were Russian puppets.
Uh,
We were
so,
just techno puppets.
so
We didn't.
okay, so then what happened? I see that wow, they're holding on, trying to grab onto the wall. They're falling down. They're falling apart. I said,
Yeah.
put everything into this guy who believed. Man, what's gonna happen? We're gonna get the money to cover those bills because I think that it's a pump and it's a they're engaged. They thought this. We're gonna get with Trump. We're gonna make these billions of dollars in like basically shady contracts and
Yeah.
stealing money. And I
Yeah.
think they bought. I see some of them may have even bought huge like hundreds of billions of dollars in properties just because they expected the fallout. I'm sorry,
Right.
the thing from the money.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. And they're like, they're all in debt for some reason, I see.
Yeah.
So they're going to be in real trouble. And some of them have so the ones that got contracts know that they're going to cut the contracts. And that's right. Because it's
Yeah.
the only reason those companies are not legit.
They're
Okay,
not legit.
they didn't get the contracts because they're the best company among
No.
the others. It's because they're friends, right? And
Right.
so everything is bogus. Now I have a question, Corina, because a lot of people actually have asked me about this. What about Palantir? They have now a huge contract with the government. Will it continue? What about Palantir? That's Peter Thiel's company, okay?
Yeah. No, it won't continue when Kamala gets in there. I can tell you that.
So no, I see that the Trump will not touch them while he's in office. No,
No, he won't do anything because
he's has to pick his battles, even that.
right. Right.
But it becomes because I see the other ones, those other tech bros that are a lot of them are gonna lose their stuff, what they got, the crypto, whatever crap they have,
Yeah.
and they're gonna want Palantir. It's like, oh yeah, if I go down, so do you.
Right.
Why does he have a contract when I lost mine? Huh? Oh
Yeah.
no. Oh, so so that's right. No, I
Hmm.
see that they're kind of like it's a thing, it's a show. They're gonna lose everything. It's like I see this like a building. Oh, it shows me like those movies when they have I've been to like I think it's Universal, so it's in LA, like there's like you go where they film things.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
everything is a backdrop, nothing's real.
Right.
That's what it shows to me. This company is like a backdrop.
Well,
And
they're shells. They're just money laundering shells.
that's right. And I mean they have some business, but it's not
Some,
right. It's like it's more
yeah,
like a kind
yeah,
of a
some
criminal.
business trying
That's
to
right.
look legit.
Stealing people's data, trying to do this. So it's saying they have a few more months left, and then everything is gonna fall over for them. That's what I get. So,
Hmm.
so this is very interesting, Corina, today, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And that matches what we picked up
Uh,
earlier, too. It's all coming apart with them. because they're all connected. It's one system is involved in another system. So they're all connected that way with the money laundering, that kind of thing. So when one starts to go, the other ones are in trouble and they know it. That's why these guys like David Sachs, I need to be protected, or I need to disappear. I need to go away for a little bit. Why? I, I I wouldn't have to do that with my business. I wouldn't have to disappear. I'm not doing anything, wrong. So if you're not doing anything wrong, why would you feel that way? Why are you worried about this implosion between Musk and Trump? Who cares about that? Unless you're invested.
Mhm. That's right. That's right. So very interesting. So
Yeah.
okay, very good, Karina, very good. Oh, and so I just want to say also, guys, before we go, that I thank you for your nice wishes about Bo. I went to the memorial, so it
Yeah.
was very nice. It's an interesting, reminder of like what matters, right, in life. So it was a good, an important moment, right? I think, and
Yes.
also, for those of you who mentioned the feeling of guilt, that's right. I also did, that was over. That was, thank God, I understood.
Mhm.
Like, so that's it. So that was that, right?
Yeah.
So wow. So next week is gonna be right until, right?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but we'll be
Yep.
back, right? When we'll be back.
Yep. We'll be back. We'll be back.
Okay. All right.
Exciting times.
All right, guys. So thanks for watching. Thanks for
Thank you.
watching.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.